Hey YouTube, this is your girl KD once again. And there's been a lot of things kind of rumbling around in this brain of mine. It goes, 1,000 miles per hour. But the things that I've been thinking about are all sort of jumbled to me because they all sort of coincide. And I've been listening to several panels, whether I participated in the chat or not. And I just don't understand how we're ever going to come to the table, Black women and Black men. I don't understand how we're ever going to get it done, because the level of deflection, disingenuine thought, disingenuous statements, purposely moving the goalposts, answering questions with questions, talking in riddles and circles, not allowing new information to come to you that would help shape an opinion or help you form a new way of thinking, even when that information is factual and being brought to you. That type of talking, that type of thinking, which I would say is feminine, and I would not be wrong to say that it's feminine, but it's actually just stupid. It's actually just kind of stupid, because I'm a woman. I don't think that way. I'm in my feminine nature. And a lot of times I can hear things with my emotions and process them a certain way. And you might get caught up feeling some type of way about something or whatever. I'm a woman. I'm susceptible to that. And I make no bones about that. But I always try to, first of all, check my emotional responses to make sure that my emotional response is not overshadowing the truth, logic, reason. Okay? You can feel however you want to feel about any number of things. But when things are true, they're just true. And I have always lived my life like that. When things are true, they're just true, even if they are uncomfortable. Even if they are uncomfortable. And there was one, I guess, in order to sort of focus my thought on what I'm saying, there was one panel that took place, I think, last night. And shout out to Gab Talk Media, because it was his panel, and I believe that it is still up, where he invited the men to speak. And there was a young lady that showed up on the panel later. But for the majority, it was the men who were talking to one another. And one of the men, I think Twin is his name, his YouTube handle, was talking, and the the subject matter kind of, was fluid. So it didn't stay on any particular point too long. But he was sort of making a point at one time during that discussion about how sex was a shared responsibility, like an equally shared responsibility. And I'm sorry, I sort of lost my train of thought, but that sex was a shared responsibility. Maybe in the days of yesteryear, they were shared, an equal sharing of responsibility. But now in this current climate, that is no longer true. And I'll tell you why. Feminism, women's lib, all of that has told women that their body, their choice. In this day and age, and it has been like this for a while now, ladies, that the reproductive rights have all been given to women. Men do not have reproductive rights. Okay? Let me make that clear. Let me say that one more time. Women have 100% of reproductive right, meaning that once she becomes pregnant, it is 100% her choice and her choice alone whether or not to bring that child to term or to terminate that pregnancy. And the man, whether he is her husband, just a one-night stand, just a boyfriend, or whatever his status may or may not have been, he does not have any legal right and no legal authority to tell her anything about what she should or should not do with her pregnancy. So if she decides that she doesn't want any more children, she can find herself pregnant and decide that she's going to abort that baby. That the father of that child could either be pining for a child, or he could not care either way, or he could really, really not want a child. It doesn't matter what his stance is. It only matters what her decision is for that pregnancy, whether to carry it out or to end it. And so with that stance, sex is now not an equally shared responsibility. After actual sex, men have no more responsibility afterwards because he has no rights afterwards. Okay? He does not control the result, and he has no right to, nor does he have any authority to dictate the outcome. Okay? And so since only women have control over the outcome of sex, Women are the only ones that control the outcome. Okay, and here I am speaking about becoming pregnant. Women are the only ones who have any say-so or authority over what happens after sex, assuming that she becomes pregnant. Now, if she doesn't become pregnant, it's no harm, no foul. But if she does, then this is completely 100% her responsibility, only because it is 100% her choice. It is 100% her right. And it is 100% under her authority what happens. Okay? So it is not a shared response. That alone should make women more accountable. But for whatever reason, it doesn't affect their accountability at all. They remain able to get passes and able to say that it is the men who are shirking their responsibilities of being fathers, and this whole thing about black men, are nothing and they're worthless and they're dominated and they are, they're no good. They're dusty and they're no good. Okay. Without taking into any account that in a case, if he wanted to be a dad and she didn't want to be a mother, there's nothing he can do to make her have that baby. And if he vehemently does not want to be a father, and let's say they discussed that and he said, you know what, I don't want children. Maybe it could be for any reason that he doesn't want them. Maybe he can't afford any children, or maybe he's just not ready for fatherhood at that time. Or maybe he just doesn't want children with that particular woman. And they talk about that. Let's say they have that conversation. If she ends up pregnant and she decides, you know what, I want this baby, there is nothing that he can do. He can't petition any court. He can't go to seek any authority. He can't do anything to prevent her from having that child if she wants that child. Okay? So it only matters what she wants. It does not matter what he wants. Okay? In this situation. It just doesn't. And so since he has no authority over the outcome, he doesn't have any responsibility for the outcome either, because I can only have responsibility for those things that I control. Okay? If I can control it, then I can take responsibility for it, because it was under my jurisdiction. It was under my control. I could have prevented, or I could have let it pass, and I chose. And so now I have to deal with the consequences of a choice. And this is the crux of the issues that the men have so-called on this side of the Black manosphere. The underlying premise, the underlying issue, problem that the men are having isn't even so much these individual issues. It is the very fact that no matter what the situation is or is not, women are never held to 100% of their accountability and responsibility. It always must be shared responsibility, or they don't have any. Never a case where the woman has to take 100% of the burden or deal with 100% of the consequence of her choice. And nowadays, in 2019, there is no reason why there should be any woman pregnant that doesn't want to be. There are so many contraceptive options, and there's morning after pills, Plan Bs and all of this. And even though I would never recommend using this as some sort of birth control after the fact. There's abortion as a last resort if she really does not want to be pregnant and she really doesn't want a child. So, that's the underlying issue, that the women don't seem to be able under any circumstance to have to take 100% of the consequence and the responsibility for their own actions. And in this day and age, women must be able to take 100% of the consequence of having a child because it's too preventable. And the law of the land, the actual policy, has made it such that only women have the full authority to say what does and does not happen to any child that she becomes pregnant with. Okay, it's not shared. That authority is not shared. That is 100% her choice, her body, her choice. Right? There would be more to this. But like I said, these things are sort of hodgepodged in my mind. But that was one thing that stood out to me that I kind of wanted to speak on. It's not shared, and it's not on equal playing ground. If the policy had said that the man, whoever impregnated her, has a 50% of the authority to say whether or not she could have that child or not, then it would be completely equal, level, shared responsibility. Then you could really say, well, you wanted the kid and now you don't want to take care of it. You petition the court to make me birth it. And then now then you have a leg to stand on. But as it is, you don't have that leg to stand on, ladies. Remember, your body, your choice. And I'll see you on next one. I'm so bad at this. If you like my content or you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, please share, and please subscribe. Hit the notification bell. If you want to contribute to the channel, I'll try to remember this time to put my link for Patreon, my link for PayPal, and my link for Cash App in the description box. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you guys later.